It's almost like the promises that they have to make in order to overthrow the government in a violent and revolutionary way in which you don't have all the people's consent
Yeah,
can then
exactly.
again turn into the same thing, you know. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a like one of the most chilling parts of the novel at the end, where when the pigs who are running the farm end up looking indistinguishable to the other animals from the humans who they overthrew in the first place. And that
and,
basically ends up happening throughout. Like there's this utopia at first, and then there's civil war between the two factions. I think it's Snowball and Napoleon,
mhm.
and then things get worse, and then they just keep getting worse and worse and worse, and the original ideology flips totally on its head, like your this relates to your name there. Two legs bad. There was a proclamation at first: four legs good, two legs bad, and then it becomes four legs good, two legs better. And then I put a quote for part of the thumbnail of this video: all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others, because it started off as all animals are equal, and then it changed to that by the end of the book.
Yeah, one of the interesting aspects of the story is that there's an idealism in a classless society, but then at the end of the road, that idealism shatters,
Yeah,
and they don't have a good way of actually solving that particular problem, because in the end, there is a class in society, that is the pigs. But we know that in the beginning, they were kind of promising this classless society, and there was a slow creep into the doctrine and how it had been changed over the years to make pigs more dominant over the other animals.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, and you could say, like, if we're looking at it allegorically in terms of the Russian Revolution and that leading to Stalin, you can talk about how, being against the bourgeoisie or whatever turns into praising Stalin, and more increasing authoritarian practices, which are all supposedly done for the greater good, right?
Yes, and we saw that during their inner turmoil and their inner struggles, they used um, measures that were extremely authoritarian, like what they did to Snowball. They had to use very nefarious means to get rid of Snowball.
Yep.
And when others started to speak out, they got, um, I think one of the notable instances is there was this horse who was responsible for a lot of the physical labor. And once he started to dissent and his health just failed a little, they sold him down the road to like a, a butcher.
Yeah, that's
But they
exactly the
had,
example I was just thinking of. Also, actually, and then they lied to everyone about it too, right?
right. So they lied and told him, oh, he's going to like some type of special doctor. And it's like the opposite of what was going on.
Yeah,
So they're
exactly.
definitely lying. I think also this as well, is I did see a couple of, I don't know if you want to consider it mild critiques of capitalism, but like selling somebody for money, um, selling out your principles for money. That definitely happened in this book, where they were selling out their principles so that they could sell their products to humans in another
Yeah,
form, like
exactly.
sell their
Yeah, they
labor to
started
humans.
doing business dealings with the humans who were the original enemies who they overthrew.
Right, and that's when they started backing out on some of their political and moral positions in order to do so, in order to maintain relationships. with these people who were, supposed to be bad oppressors, but it was the dollar sign that kind of connected that made them go back on their principles.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, if we're talking about the most general criticism of the book, I'd say it's a corruption, a criticism of corruption and the power of money and how power and money can corrupt people. And the famous anachronism, power corrupts absolutely. And then also, like part of the critique of Stalinism and communism is the authoritarianism of it, that aspect of it specifically, and the authoritarianism and corruption of of communism and Stalinism specifically, but then also, money corrupts people almost inevitably, and power corrupts people almost inevitably, regardless of like your political persuasion